In Week 3 of the 2024 NFL season, several quarterbacks delivered subpar performances that stood out in sharp contrast to their previous games or overall expectations. Using a key advanced metric called expected points added (EPA), these performances can be quantified to show just how much they contributed to their team's struggles. EPA measures a player's impact on the outcome of plays compared to a league average player, and in Week 3, several quarterbacks saw their EPA plummet compared to their past averages. Let's take a closer look at the 6 quarterbacks who had the roughest outings, based on EPA. 6. Jacoby Brissett, New England Patriots. Brissett, now in his second stint with the Patriots, struggled mightily in a brutal Week 3 loss against the New York Jets. Coming into the game, New England's offensive line was already missing 2 starters, and that weakness showed. Brissett was under constant pressure, as he and rookie quarterback Drake May, who saw time in the fourth quarter, were sacked or hit a staggering 22 times in just 33 dropbacks. Brissett's EPA for the game dropped by 12.5 points from his last meaningful action, back in 2022 when he filled in for the Cleveland Browns during Deshaun Watson's suspension. Although he helped the Patriots to an unexpected 1-1 start in the 2024 season, this performance left no doubt that New England is in a rebuilding year. Brissett's failure to move the ball consistently, combined with a porous offensive line, leaves the Patriots looking like a team destined for the top of the 2025 NFL Draft. 5. Anthony Richardson, Indianapolis Colts. Richardson's rookie season with the Colts was marked by moments of brilliance and flashes of potential, but Week 3 was a reminder of how inconsistent he can be. In a tough matchup against the Chicago Bears, Richardson was ineffective both as a passer and a runner. He completed just 49.3% of his passes on the season so far, and Week 3 was no different, as he threw 2 interceptions and failed to find the end zone. Even more concerning was Richardson's reluctance to utilize the middle of the field, as he avoided throwing between the hash marks entirely. While he managed to avoid heavy pressure, taking just 1 sack in 21 dropbacks, his 8 rushing attempts yielded only 24 yards, a far cry from the dynamic runner he showed flashes of being in college and early in his NFL career. His EPA dropped 13.4 points from 2023, highlighting just how much he regressed in this game. 4. Will Levis, Tennessee Titans. Levis, the Titans' second-year quarterback, had moments of brilliance in Week 3 but ultimately struggled in a loss to the Green Bay Packers. Despite threading some impressive passes into tight windows, his decision-making was erratic at times. The Titans' coaching staff has shown faith in Levis by building their offense around him, but he remains a work in progress. Levis was constantly under duress, partially due to a weak offensive line, which hindered his ability to sustain drives. He displayed both the potential to be a franchise quarterback and the inconsistency that makes him a question mark for Tennessee. His EPA took a 15.6-point hit compared to 2023, and though he flashed moments of skill, the overall performance fell short of what the Titans hoped to see. 3. C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans. Stroud, the Texans' young star quarterback, had a rough outing against a Minnesota Vikings defense that was relentless in Week 3. After a strong start to the 2024 season, Stroud was unable to replicate that form, struggling to deal with the Vikings' pressure. The defense sacked him 4 times for a loss of 42 yards and forced 2 interceptions. His EPA for the game fell 17.4 points from his 2023 average. Stroud's day was particularly tough as the Vikings mixed blitzes and stunts to confuse the Texans' offensive line. Stroud didn't get his team on the scoreboard until late in the third quarter, by which point they were already down 21-0. Despite his immense talent, this game exposed areas for improvement, especially in handling defensive pressure and making quick decisions. 2. Deshaun Watson, Cleveland Browns. Watson had statistically his best game of the season in Week 3, throwing for 2 touchdowns and 196 yards. However, those numbers are misleading, as his performance was marred by 8 sacks, which resulted in a loss of 48 yards. Watson's EPA for the game was a dismal -20.4, a drop of 19.5 points from his already mediocre 2023 average. Despite closing the gap to 21-15 late in the game against the New York Giants, Watson faltered in critical moments. In 3 consecutive drives with a chance to take the lead or win the game, he fumbled once and failed to convert 2 turnover-on-downs situations. The Browns, who gave up 3 first-round picks and handed Watson a $230 million fully guaranteed contract to be their franchise savior, continue to be disappointed by his inability to deliver in crucial moments. 1. Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mayfield's Week 3 performance was the worst of the bunch, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were stunned by the Denver Broncos, a team that came into the game winless. After a strong 2023 season, Mayfield saw his performance collapse, with his EPA dropping by 22.1 points from last year. He managed just 132 net yards on 40 dropbacks, a paltry 3.3 yards per pass play, as Denver's defense smothered him. Mayfield's mobility, which has often helped him escape pressure and extend plays, was neutralized, as he failed to gain any yards on the ground. His deep passing game was also ineffective. He completed just one deep pass, and it was intercepted by Denver safety Brandon Jones. This brutal regression from his 2023 form has raised questions about whether Mayfield can consistently lead the Buccaneers as their starting quarterback. Tampa Bay's undefeated season came to an abrupt end, leaving Mayfield and the team searching for answers.